This is your weekly moment of growth. Sooner or later, every single person during this quarantine is going to hit their brick wall. And I have a confession to make. I hit mine the other day. All of the uncertainty and the unknowing when things will open back up and not knowing what that will look like, and the sadness for some of my entrepreneurial friends whose companies are going under, and my friends, family members who are dying, it all came crashing down the other day. And I showed it in a massive form of stress, anxiety, short-fused anger, and everything else in between. And every single person is going to be hitting some sort of wall during this time, and they're going to take it out on people around them. They're going to feel it in different ways. Some people will shut people out. Some people will lash out, and some people will truly crumble. But this weekly moment of growth right now is not about that happening. It's not about the fact that we will all feel it in some way, shape, or form. What it's about is, what do we do when that happens? First, we need to be super kind to ourselves in these moments. We have to understand why we're feeling this way. I think sometimes when we feel anxiety and we feel stress, we kind of put it into all the things that are going into our life instead of the one thing that it truly is. And for me, it was the unknown. It was just simply not knowing when I can just go to a restaurant with a buddy again. And you know, I had no plan on really talking about this, but when I sat down to record this, I knew I needed to. And as you can tell, I mean, there's longer pauses this time than usual. It's not as planned out as it normally is, because it was a true emotion. And the first thing that I did was I held space for myself during that time. I took a deep breath, and I put myself in a situation where I could break a pattern, where I could change things up. So for those of you that don't know, I've been going back and forth between my house and my girlfriend's house. And majority of the time, other than about a day or two out of the week, I've been down at her house. And so for me, I broke the pattern by coming back to my house and decompressing and focusing on work and the things that I can control. But I want you to ask yourself, what are the things that you can do to break the patterns that are causing the stress in your life? Because it is really the repetition of every single day. It's like Groundhog's Day, right? Like we wake up, it's the same thing. We're in our house, we're in our yard, we're with the same people. Even though we love them, you know, we need variety in our life. We're human beings. And so how can you break that pattern for yourself? Maybe it's to include a workout. Maybe it's to have a no talking day in your house. Maybe it is to go out for a run or a walk, or just to break the pattern, step away from the things that you're doing day in and day out. You need to first break that pattern. Or I should say, you need to first be kind to yourself, and second, break that pattern. Number 3, challenge yourself. You want to really begin to challenge yourself during this time, right? We're not getting the same stimulation we normally get in a social aspect, so we need to challenge the norm in our lives. So push yourself into a new direction. Push yourself to a new challenge. Read a book that you've been putting off, or do an online quiz that's challenging. Discover more about yourself. Meditate. Do things that you don't normally do to break the pattern and to push yourself out of the norms to improve. You also have to remind yourself that this is going to end. We don't know when, and that for me was my trigger point. But it is going to end, and everything's going to be okay. We just have to push ourselves through. But the point of this, and it may have sounded like I rambled, but the point of this is that we all need this opportunity to reset, to ramp up, to charge ourselves again when we're going through the same thing day in and day out. And so try and do these things. Separate yourself, change the patterns, push yourself from the norms, forgive yourself for those little short fuses we have, and also forgive your loved ones for theirs as well, because we're all going through an extremely tough time because it's the unknown. So I want you guys to do me a huge favor. I want you to share this out with anybody who needs to hear this, because we're all struggling with this in different ways. We're all feeling it in different ways. So share this out on your Instagram stories or your Facebook. Please tag me. And then from that, just if you don't want to do that, just send it to somebody who needs to hear it. I think it's an important message that everything is going to be okay. We just have to navigate this time differently. And I challenge you to do that starting today. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me for the last couple of minutes. I hope to talk to you soon.